Um, let's start it. As you always know, these three cards are the main thing going on. And if I have to say it as briefly as possible, I would say that what I see here is that you are waiting for some kind of new message or communication in order to close a chapter that keeps you in your past. Okay, and you just need those news. That's it to close the door to the past. But it's still you are kind of in that situation. Okay, and underneath we have the Ten of Sky, that is the Ten of Swords reversed, and the Priest is the Hierophant reversed. It's kind of, the situation is not so bad as it used to be. You are making some kind of progress, but still you don't have the comfort of the structure or the it's kind of, you are not yet part of the system, the established system. You don't have the structure and the order and maybe the traditional situation that maybe you would like to have. You are in the process. You're making some progress, but you are out of the system is what I see here. Like maybe it's the ways that you do things, but you are not like the rest of the community. Okay, right now you are not in that situation right now. I don't know if you want to be or not, but you are not right now. Maybe you want to be like everybody else, like with the costumes, with the same habits, with the same be part of the community. And if that is the case, things are not as worried as they were before, but you are not yet there. I mean, here we have as your surroundings, you have the Death card reversed and the Nine of Cups, and it seems at first kind of quite a contrast because this is a wish card. The Death is always a little bit scary, but most of you guys are familiar with the tarot and know that the Death card is more transformations and changes of states than anything else. And it's reversed. There is something that is still stopping in you to have all that you are wishing for. Your wishes seems to be granted, but they come kind of with a delay. Something is stopping the delivery of these wishes. Okay, let's say that. And here the approach that we are having to the situation, we have the Knight of Swords upright and the Three of Swords reverse. My opinion is like you have been experiencing a painful situation, okay? And here we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is someone who is very determined. He takes whatever he wants. He achieves his goals, but he doesn't have any care about the way he takes things. It could be extremely aggressive. And because we are thinking about, it could be about the communication. There is something that says in the Bible about death and life comes with the power of the tongue, is in the power of the tongue. But that means, watch out, you already have experienced the pain and you are determined with your goal, but watch out the way you say things. Please think twice before you talk, because this is a great ally, is a great one to have as a friend, but sometimes it's too harsh. The way he acts, the way he communicates. So just telling you that, okay, guys. See, you may be impatient because the chapter, you cannot close a chapter. It does not mean that you have to be too aggressive the way you grabs the opportunity when it comes, okay? And here we have the Judgment and the Nine of Deniers. The Nine of Deniers is like the Nine of Pentacles, and Judgment is Judgment. Here it says the Book of Life, and here we have underneath the Land of Promise. For me, it's kind of a confirmation from above that the transformation is going to take place, and the chapter is going to close, and you're going to reach the position or the place you want to be. This is the promised land. But the promised land, it took them many years in the Bible. So I'm thinking that everything is telling me that you are going to reach your objective, your goal, but it's going to come with some delays. It's not going to be overnight. Okay. Well, let's try to see what it says. The rest of the cards, the bottom of the decks, if they confirm or they tell us something else. Okay. As we said, here we have a very painful situation that we have been experiencing, and still it could be like you still have as an aftermath, could be that you're still feeling a little bit of pain, okay, and bad memories, and but you are determined to keep, to move forward, and but you are in risk of being too aggressive. So it's suggested here that you have to be very careful the way you communicate, because here we have on the bottom of the deck the Ace of Pentacles. Is a great contrast here. Seems to me that if you have to communicate yourself in order to get money, watch out the way you do it. Just saying. The other option is like you already have the finances for whatever it is that you're trying to close. Your finances are coming, okay, but it doesn't give you the right to be mean in the way in the way you communicate. Okay, if you have been maybe, let's say, betrayed by someone, okay, guys, and but was part of the past, the way you have to communicate in order to get finances, if you is what you are looking for, has to be not keeping any kind of resentment from the past. And the other possibility here is like you may have already the resources you need, but in any case that gives you the right to be mean. Okay, guys, in any case, it's important the way you communicate. Please be a gentleman or be a lady about that. That is important. And here we keep going, because we have the wishes, the card of wishes, that it comes without certain delay, certain thing that is stopping us to get what we want. And what we have here, guys, is the Judgment reverse. The Judgment reverse, sometimes it comes when a transformation has to take place, but there is something stopping that process, like the Death card. Sometimes it's like we are very harsh with ourselves. Sometimes it's like we are can enjoy too much the self-pity mood, Sometimes we don't think, or we don't look inside us, and we blame everybody because of our circumstances. It's like we are doing the same thing again and again, expecting other results. Of course, it's not going to happen. We cannot blame others. We cannot make excuses. If we want to get out of the darkness and go to the light, we have to look inside us to doing that. Seems to me that you are not achieving what you want, your wishes, still you don't, is because maybe you are not working in yourself as much as you can. It also because we are talking about that is this rending thing here going on. It could be also that if in order to finish your process, this chapter that you're waiting for, in order to be finished, maybe it requires a legal action that is not yet here. You are in standby to get what you want, because this is this random was rending you. And here, remember what we said. Here you have had very bad moments, but now those you are healing. You're healing, you're recovering, but you still are not kind of what we said before in the system. You are not a part of the community. Maybe it's because you want to keep it like this, or maybe it's because you cannot yet. I believe it's you cannot yet. You're not in that point yet because it's not close, this chapter. And here in the bottom of the deck we have the Strength card, and it's reversed. As you can see, it's a cat that is upright. It's a cat that has birds. The Strength always talk. It doesn't talk all the time about the strength, physical strength. Talk more about the strength that you have inside, your willpower, your ability to take control of yourself or your actions. It seems to me that it's telling you, have patience. The moment is going to arrive when it's going to arrive. But meanwhile, you have to watch out the way you communicate, the way you act, and don't get into freak out mode if there is any kind of delay. You have to take control of your persona. It's about more about an attitude, a behavior to kind of, maybe this delayed is to teach you something about your control of yourself. We are a society that wants to have everything now, and things don't happen like this. If you are immersed in a legal system, if you are in a legal process, it's going to take the time that it's going to take the time. You cannot do anything about it. Well, let's continue, because we have, remember, you are waiting, expecting some kind of communication or news or call or any message that is going to allow you to close a chapter and to close the past that is still here, very, very present with you. And what we have in the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. So, and it's reversed. So Eight of Cups reminds me when we use excuses because we are scared and we don't move forward. It's like what is necessary for you to hear in order that you move forward and you close the chapter. Maybe you are scared. Maybe it's just telling us that there's a delay. Maybe you are thinking that the situation is not so bad. I believe that card like this, I don't like it, because it makes me feel that the one of the excuses is you. It is not the system. If that is the case, believe that is something bigger and better because out there for you. Because here we have the Judgment and we have the Nine of Pentacles. This Judgment is kind of a reborn, is once you get close this chapter, you are going to be reborn. There is a total transformation. You are in a process of healing that is going to culminate here. It's like you from darkness, you are going to come to light. But also, and darkness is going to give you light, and this light is in this new destination, the land of promise, where exactly in the Bible, Canaan, exactly the same here. It's taking time. Yes, it's true. But everything worthy, like the harvest, it takes time. It's going to be a total transformation from black to white. But also, and I have to be very clear, something has to die. And I'm not saying literally, but I'm saying the chapter has to be closed in order to move forward. Okay, if you are reborn, you are not the same person that you was before. And here we have the Hermit. And the Hermit is quite a confirmation about the Judgment and about the Nine of Deniers. It's going to take place an evolution, a progress in yourself, in your persona, and in your situation in order to close the chapter and move forward. The best idea, the way you can help to the process is to go inside yourself and look what you can do to be in a better alignment to the direction you are heading. If you don't feel comfortable on your own skin, ask why. If you are waiting for a legal decision, if this judgment is a legal situation, you have to learn how to wait with the best mood, attitude, and health and strength to the decision that is going to take place. If it is a journey, some relationship that you have to finish from your past, learn how to do it without being aggressive. Work on yourself in order to be transformed. There is a transformation that is going to take place, but here is interrupted because some changes have to take place and they're not yet. Once you are transformed, once you are able to move forward, you're going to get to the destination you want. But that has to be like this. Finances are not a concern. You can have them. It seems that you're having them, but they start as a seed. So that again, the progress is going to be steady but slowly, There's an idea. And here we have two runes, says need and legates. Need is talking about those. It's asking you to have patience. Because you have been immersed in a very emotional trial or situation that it was very important in order for you to this transformation. It's telling you, please think twice. It is like you needed this thing in order to close the chapter and don't repeat the same mistakes. And here the legas is quite thin. It's a confirmation that you are in the right path. You have to follow your intuition. It's important that you learn in order to overcome all the obstacles. Stop excuses. Okay, if you don't like a situation, the only thing you have to do is to change it. If you cannot change it, take your best attitude, learn about patience and kindness. If it is up to you to change it, it is in your hands. Do it. For those that are believers, pray. If the person or the situation doesn't change, you are going to be changed with those prayers. Always work, always. So I believe you have to work on yourself in order don't get despair because you cannot close the chapter. It's going to take place and you're going to move forward. Don't use excuses about others. It's you who has to work in this situation. It's about you. And I think it's pretty good. honestly, I think after this episode of your life, you're going to learn a lot about your persona, Virgo. And you are going to look back in the future. You're going to look back and say, oh my gosh, I don't know how I was able to overcome all those things, but I did it. So it's good. It's good. Walk by faith, not by fear. Nothing bad looks here. Only you have to work in patience and allow life make the changes they need